Yeah, they're doing it. They're doing it. They're doing it. They're doing it. Doing it like a preacher man. Doing it on a one-night stand. Doing it like old grandpa. Doing it like a fly on the wall. Everybody doing it, doing it, doing it. Everybody doing the day. Everybody doing it, doing it, doing it. Everybody doing the day. They're doing it like the FBI. They're doing it act like Superfly. Doing it for a second chance. Doing it for a song and dance. Doing it like a big fat lie. They're doing it on a phony smile. They're doing it in an automobile. They're doing it on four flat wheels. Everybody doing it, doing it, doing it. Everybody doing the day. Everybody doing it, doing it.
Going in now, so we'll see you guys in a little while, all right? Hey, good to see all of you. Oh, what a night. What a night. God. Oh, hey, really quick, I want to do this. Well, what did Adam say to his wife on Christmas Eve? Huh? It's Christmas Eve. What do you say to an elf wearing earmuffs?
What's that?
Anything you want, they can't hear you. What's the matter with you guys? That's your fault. All right, one quick one. What is Jack Frost like most in school? Snow and tell. We've got some Christmas carolers on our stage right now, and they're going to be humming a little bit as we do a little bit of talking. It's a magical time. There's no reason or rhyme. It's just the caroling. Our hearts are calling to each other this time of year. It's a giving time. I love this time of year. People kind of start getting together. It's a strange time of year. There's so many different sort of issues here and there and there and there. And you just want to see something beautiful happening. The sounds of music can help you, can bring your life to a place that's got some meaning to it. People who like to read books are in for a very big treat tonight. A fellow was in the service, 1967, wrote a book called Curse of the Coloring Book, inspired by a true story. Howard Hibbard has written an easy to read, fast, lots of touching and feeling and looking at different enlightening topics. One that I can say to him how different this is. Just so many different issues coming up in this book. I think you'll like it. Not many books I've read lately have really got me, and I'm not a guy that I don't like violence. Never liked violence. Hey, if the Second World War, I would have joined. Nah. But none of this other stuff, I don't get it, never got it. Never thought it was quite right. But this is America. There's room for everybody here. Based on his time in the service, his PTSD, and his 30 years as a litigation attorney. He closed his law practice last year, and he's writing another novel about what's happening in his life. Real interesting cat. He's got words that might fill your heart. We'll also have our little green turtle. He's here for your pleasure. And he'll be down here with Santa Claus himself. Ladies and gentlemen, on our stage right now is one of the finest people are singing Christmas carols throughout the holiday season. They're called the Merrie Olde Christmas Carolers. Put your hands together for them, please.
So we'll be singing Ding Dong Merrily on High.
Ding dong, merrily on high. Ding dong, in heaven the bells are ringing. Ding dong, dong, the sky. Ding dong is riven with angels singing. Gloria, Hosanna in excelsis. Ding dong, ding dong, let steeple bells be swung. Ding dong, ding dong, by priest and people sung. Gloria, Hosanna in excelsis. Ding dong, your knight and chimey ringers. Ding dong, your eve-time song in singers. Gloria, Hosanna in excelsis. Gloria, Hosanna in excelsis.
Thank you so much. All right. Another one of our favorites is Carol of the Bells.
How the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old, meek and the poor. Ding dong, that is their song, with joyful ring, all caroling. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they pound, raising the sound over hill and dale, telling their tales. Gaily they ring while people sing song of good cheer. Christmas is here. Ding dong, ding dong, that is our song, with joyful ring, all caroling. Ding dong, without end, their joyful tone to every home.
On they send on without end their joyful tone to every home.
Christmas is here, bringing good cheer. Ding dong,
Boom. Thank you so much. Alrighty. So for our next song, we're gonna warm up our little instruments here. When's the last time you've seen a kazoo?
Seem to be in tune.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day, to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, joy, joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy.
Comfort and joy, comfort and joy.
Thank you. All right. This is one of my personal favorites. The Christmas song, Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire. Let's start again.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and kids dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows some turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight.
They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly.
And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas to you.
Alrighty, now for a little something different. This is Ken's arrangement called the Santa Claus Tango.
Hey, yabba boom, 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 boom.
Christmas is here. It's the time to be jolly.
Boom, boom, boom.
Snow and reindeer, all those trees and that holly.
Boom, boom, boom.
Jingle bells ring, and the carolers singing, and dear Santa is bringing his joy to all.
Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, here goes Santa, sliding right down the chimney, and he's dancing with Rudolph and Frosty. See them gliding as they twirl by the Christmas tree in a tango neath the mistletoe. Dear Santa, Santa Claus, there's a cookie for Rudolph. Take it for him, even though he's a goofball. Thanks for the toys, all the gifts you are bringing, and to them I'll be clinging the whole year long. Oh, little Santa, sliding right down the chimney, and he's dancing with Rudolph and Frosty. See them gliding as they twirl by the Christmas tree in a tango neath the mistletoe. Ole!
Thank you so much. All right, we're going to sing a little Here Comes Santa Claus, Mr. Santa hybrid for you. A little mashup.
Jingle, jangle, jingle, jangle, jingle, jangle, jingle, jangle, jingle, jangle, jingle, jangle. Here comes Santa now. Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. Vixen and Blitzen and all his reindeer pulling on the rein. Bells are ringing, children singing, all is merry and bright. So hang your stocking and say your prayers, 'cause Santa Claus comes tonight. Oh, jingle, jangle, jingle, jangle, jingle, jangle, jingle. Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. He's got a bag that is full of toys for the boys and girls again. Hear those sleigh bells jingle, jangle, what a beautiful sight. Oh, jump in bed and cover your head, 'cause Santa Claus comes tonight. Oh, bum 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 bum. Mr. Santa, bring me some toys, bring Merry Christmas to all girls and boys. And every night I'll go to sleep singing and dream about the presents you'll be bringing. Santa, promise me please, give every reindeer a hug and a squeeze, and I'll be good as good can be. Mr. Santa, don't forget me. Bum 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 bum. Mr. Santa, dear old Saint Nick, be awfully careful and please don't get sick. Oh, put on your coat when breezes are blowing, and when you cross the street, look where you're going. Santa, we love you so. We hope you never get lost in the snow. Please take your time when you unpack. Mr. Santa, don't hurry back. Bum 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 bum.
Mr. Santa,
Yes?
we've been so good.
You have?
We've washed the dishes and done what we should.
Oh, that's very nice.
Made up our beds and scrubbed up our toesies. We've used a Kleenex when we've blown our nosies.
Santa, look at our ears, they're clean as whistles, you bet, and we're sharper than shears.
Now we put you on the spot. Mr. Santa, bring us a lot.
Da 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 dum bum 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 bum. Mr. Santa, bring lots of toys, bring lots of Christmas cheer to all girls and boys, and every single night I will go to sleep singing and dream all night and dream about the presents you'll be bringing. Who, Santa, promise us please, give every reindeer a hug and a squeeze, and I'll be good as good can be. Mr. Santa, hurry, and please, 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 Mr. Santa, don't forget me, 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 me.
the CD. Yeah, the Merrie Olde Christmas Carolers 25th year anniversary. God, these guys are something else. I'm sitting next to a fella that, Jesus God, do you remember back in the 80s and 90s and even the 2000s, the rock acapella was just taking over the country. Pretty amazing to me, because this fella was the guy that was putting it all together, and he booked this show, and we'd have these wonderful, wonderful people, the Edlows, the thises, the that's, and really an amazing thing. And then I don't know what happened, but it happened, and you just can't hardly see too many people out singing like that anymore. And he's a fellow that's kind of heading up the Merrie Olde Christmas Carolers. He's sort of sitting next to me now. I really dig what he's doing. Oh, by the way, you young people up on stage, thank you for being here. Anna Callahan, that's you, isn't it? Soprano. Anne-Marie Rahala, mezzo. Darren Kettner, tenor. Ben Brissell, bass. Awfully nice, and your little whatchamacallit. Yeah, really great. Well, Ken, I just I'm so pleased that you're here, and you were talking about what's happening with the Merrie Olde Christmas Carolers, and you've done so much. God almighty, show producer, author, singer, songwriter, arranger at ASCAP. I mean, wow, you've just been doing it forever.
I've been around the block a few times.
Yes, yes, you have, man. God.
And can I correct you on something? This is our 25th anniversary CD in 2002. We're actually in our 41st consecutive year.
Totally understand.
Now.
God. Huh?
I know. Who knew?
That's
who
a
would've
big
guessed?
time. Oh, I would guess, because because there's room, and you made your room. You put it out there. I mean, there are not many other people that were doing that back then. You have been doing it. I mean, that's just a wonderful thing to me.
It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. God, and these kids, they put their heart and soul into singing. And every one of them has gone to some kind of class, some kind of college, some kind of, what they're doing.
Musical theater, opera singers, all sorts of, professional people, right.
And are you doing something now, by the way?
Actually, I am singing. I'm singing at the, here we are. I'm singing at the Dickens Christmas Fair.
Yeah, the great Dickens Christmas Fair.
We're doing Trial by Jury by Gilbert and Sullivan.
God.
And I'm singing the role of the counsel. And it's a 35-minute comic opera. We're doing it at 11:30 and 4:15 each Saturday and Sunday.
Yes.
And it's just a hoot. We got a great cast of a lot of fun people. And if you haven't ever been to the Dickens Fair, I advise you to go. It's a lot of fun. It's 4.5 acres big. It's in 6 different exhibit halls, side by side like that, and you can get totally lost in it. It's just enormous. There are something like 7 stages, 800 actors, pubs, bars, restaurants, places to buy things for Christmas, shops. It takes them 2 weeks to put it all. It's like building a city in the Cow Palace. It's amazing. I'm just knocked out by it. That is so much fun. Bring your family. Bring your family.
I'm totally amazed. I absolutely. There was a Dickens Fair, it was way up in Lake County, and it was some years ago, and everybody's all dressed up and all the little goodies, and it was pretty darn nice, man. Huh?
It's a lot of fun. It came down here some years ago. The one down here is now in its 35th season, by the way. And I think the same people who did this did the Renaissance Fair.
Yeah.
That was up to Blackhawk, or somewhere up there. Yeah.
You're doing, you're singing and writing, or composing, arranger at ASCAP. What exactly does that mean?
It means I'm an accredited composer, arranger,
Yes.
and when people sing my arrangements, I get a royalty.
Big time, huh?
It's not a lot. It's just an honorarium that if you belong to ASCAP, which is the American Society of Composers, Authors, and Arrangers, then let's say like when San Francisco Symphony Chorus does my work, or a major organization, they report to the ASCAP office in New York, and whatever they are performing, I get a royalty fee on, and I'll get a check every 6 months or a year or whatever it is.
God, what is going to happen when you reach the ripe old age of 50?
Dude, I passed that 29 years ago.
Hey, let me give a web page for the Merrie Olde Christmas Carolers. TMOCC.com. And then also, if you need to speak to somebody, Ellen, 650-868-3773.
Yep.
Did you get that? Let's do it again. 650-868-3773. Let's do TMOCC.com.
Yeah.
Pretty big deal you got going here. Now, how many cities in this in California have the Merrie Olde Christmas Carolers been to? Most of them, right?
Well, in the original MOCC, I had the original branch was in San Francisco,
Yeah.
and then we established the first branch was in San Jose, and then we went down to Santa Cruz, and then over to Livermore in Oakland, and then Vallejo in Santa Rosa. So that's all now combined in one great, it's called the Greater Bay Area branch, but there's also a branch up in Sacramento. And then over the years, as carolers moved and wanted to continue what we were doing, they established branches in the cities they were going to. We had a branch in Tucson, a branch in Chicago, a branch in St. Louis, a branch in Boston.
God, it's
yeah,
wonderful.
so it grew of its own energy. Yeah.
I love it. Just because it's a perfect place for people to get started to do this. If they're moving, they can just take it with them and then get people involved and to come back. I don't know. That's a pretty darn big deal. We got about a minute or so. What is this piece of paper you gave me?
This is just an idea of where some of the carolers are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're. I think Ellen now has something like 160 gigs
Holy
all around the
crap.
Bay Area.
There's
And that's
a
just an
million of 'em
example
here.
of where they are.
Yeah.
From now
All
until
over the place. Well, I'm hoping some people will get a hold and maybe want to join up or just find out where.
Yeah.
Well, I used
Let
to
Ellen
think
know. Right.
the group would be at malls and that sort of thing, but they're all over the place.
all
Huh?
over the place. Yep.
And it's kind of a beautiful way of singing as well. And
It's a lot of
like,
fun.
you know,
It's a lot of fun.
I think it's a hell of a lot of fun. That's why you've done it. It's
Yeah.
a big deal, and you've opened up something really important to
And
the
some
people.
of our carolers could come back for like 20, 25, 30 years
Yes,
because they like doing what they're doing. They love singing the arrangements, and they're spreading joy during the holiday season. And hey, what's wrong with that? You know?
That's why I do this show, is to try to get a little something out there, because to be honest, most people are just sort of not much going on there. They need a little something to get them moving along. Ken Maliucelli, I just love you for coming here and love you for setting up with these young kids doing a little bit of singing. Good luck to you. Good luck on the Dickens Fair, and we'll see you the next time around, buddy. Thank you, huh? Thank you, Ken Maliucelli. Yeah. All right. That's Malucelli, Maliucelli. I'm talking to you. Yeah. God darn it. By the way, the Merrie Olde Christmas Carolers will be back a little bit later, and we'll kind of sort of get into that. And oh yeah, Little Green Turtle. Geez, you know Little Green Turtle? I want you to dance in front of Santa Claus, okay? And Santa's always giving away everything, and it might be cool if you do that. And then but what I noticed was, and see, here's Santa Claus. So you guys see it, Santa Claus there? And then here's Little Green Turtle. But I don't know if anybody can get a real close shot of those little tiny little turtles up here. Can anybody see it? Below my fingers. Does anybody see it? Little tiny, look at the little tiny, look at. So you see what's there? There's a little green turtle. I just need to ask, what have you been doing lately? Huh? Oh, you think they look like you? Well, tell me this. Do you think that looks like you? Huh? Put it over here. That doesn't look at all like you. We're going to have to change things as time goes on. You understand? All right. Now, Santa is standing, he's waiting, he wants to see what you're up to. We're going to let you do a little piece. That's an old phrase I heard in San Francisco in 1970. All right, so do a little piece for Santa, all right? Okay, you ready to go, big guy? Tom? Tom. I don't hear it out here hardly. It's all right.
When the moon comes up,
Yeah, see?
goes down. That's
God, he really backed down. I don't think I like the way he did that. But it's all right. You know, Little Green Turtle, you're doing what you've been on the show 30 years. And you know what Santa Claus is going to give you? Look, here's Santa. He's going to turn his back on you. Watch. Oh, look, he's got a little hole in his back. You know what that's for? Well, I'm not going to tell you. Well, Little Green Turtle, isn't that fun? Santa, that was fun for you, too. Was it fun for me? It's nice to see you got some nice people in the audience tonight. It's very gentle and just want to have a good time. By the way, you people had called in and worked on the telethon that they had here at the station, and it turned out well. They need your support, so you know, if you gave it, then that's cool. Not much to say on that. You keep getting, and you keep getting a little bit stronger, get a little tighter. My next guest this evening, this is really cool. He's an author, a young guy, put out this book called Curse of the Coloring Book, a novel by a true story, a novel inspired by a true story. Yeah, you see that? Curse of the Coloring Book? I mean, what is that, huh? Does that mean anything to you? I read this thing and it just grabbed me and held me tight, and I'm not really that much into sort of reading this type of thing. People getting shot and killed and all this over and over and over and over, but it was much more than that. It's seeing his life when he was in the military, it's seeing his life when he was home as an attorney for nearly 30 years. His issues with PTSD. Howard Hibbard is the author. He's sitting next to me now. Let's kind of try to go inside what he's sort of been writing and talking about in his book. Put your hands together for Howard. Howard, good to talk with you, dude. Talk to you. Thank you, man. You're a great guy. I sure enjoy reading the book. At first, I may have told you, I thought I had PTSD, but it's something else. But I couldn't hardly not read things that were difficult in the book, and there were some difficult issues in the book.
Particularly if you're getting shot at.
What'd you say?
Particularly if you're getting shot at.
Oh God! I'm telling you, and you worked your way up. You became what was your rank in there?
First lieutenant.
First lieutenant. Yeah.
I couldn't get out fast enough.
And you signed up to get out fast enough? What? I don't even understand that.
Well, regrettably, in 1967, when I was at the University of Vermont.
Yes.
I could have kept my mouth shut and wrote out the old deferments, but went out and bought a G.I. Joe coloring book, a half-gallon of bourbon, stole some Denny's crayons, went back to fraternity house. We all got drunk and colored the pictures, and I joined the Army.
And, but was it you and one other person, or just you?
No, it was just no one else in my crew decided.
Did anybody think that you were sort of different when you?
It was a unanimous decision that I completely lost my marbles.
You lost your head, man. I totally understand. God, and you did it. You did it, and you got a couple of Bronze Stars. You did a lot of things in the service, and then you got the PTSD. But while you were in the service, and where were you along? Where were you? The Cambodian border with the Wolf?
Yeah, it was with the Wolfhounds, so the 25th
Wolfhounds.
Infantry Division Wolfhounds on the Pearspeak on the Cambodian border. It was about 80 kilometers west of Saigon, so it was a major incursion point because it was so close.
And then you were kind of second behind this one fella. We'll call him Perlman, and he told someone there that this was going to be the day that he was going to. He didn't want to go. He didn't want to go out on walking around and all that, and he wanted to stay here, and that didn't happen. And he went out, and he did get shot in his head. His brains coming out of the hole there, and went through his head and went in the arm of somebody else next to him. That must have been would have knocked my head off. But
Well,
go ahead.
sorry.
No, you keep going.
Well, for a few moments, I completely froze.
Of course.
And then my training kicked in, and also that if I didn't do something, I was probably going to end up getting killed.
Yes.
So I was able to marshal my faculties and carry on. But as I said before, you know, Vietnam was a great party to miss, and don't feel bad about it one iota.
Yes, yes. Were there a number of people that were in your squad that were, or they loved God and country, and they would die for their country, and were there others that didn't give a damn about it, just wanted to hurry up and get done and get out?
All the above. Take your choice.
Of course. The things that Americans did in that area, we would come with these big, huge, monstrous sort of machines and just rape and pillage the lands and all this. And these people were just so damn good. They'd go underground, they'd tunnel, they'd do all these things that we had no idea what they were doing. They were really fine fighters, right?
Absolutely. No, I know a single person who was on the line who can't tell you that Charlie was a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, huh?
Absolutely.
Daytime was your time, nighttime was theirs?
Yes, the old Billy Joel song.
Uh-huh. Can you explain that to some people here that don't quite understand it?
Well, regrettably, the United States Army in Vietnam was not trained for nighttime war. And so what happened, and this is before all the fancy Starlight scopes that they have now. And so it was an amazing failure of our military to understand that you cannot allow your opponent to have 12 hours of uninterrupted time to do what he wants to do. And as far as digging underground, it was the smartest thing in the world to do because
amazing.
They kept him busy and we couldn't find him.
Yeah. I thought totally amazing. We're overdone with all these big, fantastic, great things, and here these people are crawling underground, living under there, and doing so well. And what an unusual experience. I was also thinking about there was a man, and he wanted to carry on his back a big oil can or something?
Yeah, it's a 55-gallon drum of gasoline.
Yeah, 55-gallon drum, and he's a scrawny little Vietnamese, and sure enough, he was able to sort of do that.
Yes.
Were any of your men able to do that?
Oh, no, I wouldn't even try, but I did bring back a relic.
Oh, let's see.
From that. This is,
oh, Lord.
Let me take a look at it.
Oh, but it's heavy, huh?
It's actually an
brass?
artillery shell.
Yeah.
It's solid brass, U.S. Army artillery shell. And this man went back to his village and without any electricity or anything, just fabricated this. This is actually a set. There's actually another one like it too.
God.
But it's actually a chapter in the book where this guy came in and just, everyone was betting and screaming and yelling. And then he walked off with this 350 pounds of gasoline.
It's just amazing to me. That's a scrawny little guy. He eats 1/10 of what we eat, and here he can do that. It's not how big and bulky you are, it's whatever the other words are that I would say. No, this is amazing, man. God. It weighs, I think, right now about 8, 10, or 12 pounds.
It's expensive, too.
Uh-huh. God. I don't know, man. So you're out there in the field, and you're working with your men, you're going out to clean people out, but then something brings you to you're an attorney. You go back to your attorney life, and you're being sued by some company, and that sort of gets you kind of weird and gets you loaded all the time on, I guess it was alcohol or whatever.
First thing that could hit my hand.
I'm telling you, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you did that, and I'm honored that you're here because you're saying things that I've said for 30 years. I'm just a man, for Christ's sake, and things happen, and you kind of did that, and then things that were kind of tearing the family apart.
Absolutely.
What a bear, huh? But then the PTSD. How did you? Was there a place that you could connect one to the other, and it be real, or was it always a separate, or what?
it's homogenous. It's just like when I see the world completely differently. You know, I've always seen flashbacks or explosions or different things because that's just how it is. It's like I'm always looking for an escape route. You know, I never would, like in Las Vegas, I never would have sat with them back against a big building because that's just asking to get shot as far as I'm concerned.
Against a big building.
It's this old habits die hard. And even when we go certain places, my wife will ask me, you know, it's like, well, have you figured how to get out of here yet? And I'll say, absolutely, because it comes in, it's like not innate behavior pattern.
Yeah, and then what also is quite strange to me is, you know, I mean, even in here, like people do whatever it is they do here, and then they don't take them to Hollywood and throw them in. They do a much more gentle thing in the service. You have some time off. I'm sorry, you're out. It's done. Your time is up.
Absolutely, I'm not going back.
Yeah, and then they just take and put you out on the streets. Do they train you to do that? Do they, well, you know, do anything to get you verified about what it is to be back in the general civilization?
I'm really glad you bring that up because there was a recent study by the veterans, 2016. 20 veterans a day are killing themselves.
Shit.
20 people killing themselves a day. It's outrageous that nothing is being done. And so I'm proposing that I'm actually starting a movement called 20 Men a Day movement to see if I can't get organized with politicians or something to stop this. And I'm also promoting it's 8 weeks of basic training to get into the military. It should be 4 weeks discharge training.
Hell yeah.
Everybody's got a job on a national database. No one walks out without 6 months of keeping track of what these people are doing because these people have performed extraordinary services under extraordinary circumstances, and they're just being tossed out. And if they were given the right tools like training, psychological evaluation, you know, put in a vocational job with a job, or just going to college, but to just let them just wander blank on the street. That's what happened to me. I
don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it at all.
What
happened to you?
I was discharged in 1970 in March at Travis Air Force Base, and literally 24 hours after leaving Benoit, I was walking around the streets of San Francisco looking for snipers and tripwires, and people just, you know, giving me bad looks, and to include getting spit on at San Francisco Airport.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone has to have that. Yeah. I mean, why not? I mean,
what a terrible thing, because that's a whole issue for you. You could write a book on that.
I did. Revenge of the Coloring Book is about coming back and going back to school. When I finished the whole war duty and being an officer and everything, I had to go back to school as a sophomore.
Sophomore?
I was with 19-year-olds who were looking at me like, I'm not getting anywhere near this guy.
God. And that's what you did. You went and you got finished with the doctorate or whatever you did, and then you went out and you did your attorney stuff.
Well, you know, when I first came back, I decided I could either do one of two things: be a sniper or a litigation attorney. And litigation attorney seemed to be a better way to go.
And then you got nailed in that incident too.
I got out of it.
I know you did get out.
It wasn't malpractice.
That was amazing.
By the skin of my chinny chin chin.
I saw that and I thought, holy God, how the hell did you get out of this? But these are some of the things in the book called Curse of the Coloring Book, a novel inspired by a true story that you can read. It kind of goes into different areas that you know, it makes you really want to think what's going on. You took some leave and you went to, was it not?
Taiwan.
Taiwan. And why you took a leave? What was your state of mind taking the leave and going to Taiwan?
Well, I didn't care where I went. There was actually 4 different places to go. One is Bangkok.
Yeah.
One is Taiwan. One is Australia. And there was another one back. You could actually go to Hawaii if you were married. So, but I picked Taiwan because I did not want to be there on Christmas Day and New Year's Day. So as long as outside of Vietnam for that was my religious trek to say I'm getting out of this country for that time period.
How come I don't understand why those 2 days?
I just didn't want to be in Vietnam for Christmas and New Year's.
Okay, gotcha.
I had enough, and it was just really an amazing experience that I'd rather not repeat.
I gotcha. And then so of course you went in and you didn't really know what was happening, but you did want to find some love some feeling that, because you've been without that sort of feeling for quite a while. And you got with a lady and then it did this and that, and she told you how wonderful and lovely and great, amazing you were, and then 2 stalls down in another toilet or something, a woman was saying the very same thing to another vet. So that you didn't care, right?
No, it was like
That's
GI.
just-
It was like GI 101.
Yeah,
Love you long time, make you happy, GI.
yeah.
And it didn't take a lot because we came. What's amazing is anyone went on R&R and then went back to Vietnam. You think we break and run right from there.
Yeah. I don't see how it is that you began your journey thinking that you, why did you do this as something, you didn't want to walk in the footsteps of your father, is that right?
Right, well, first of all, I couldn't. He went to MIT.
Yeah.
And they probably wouldn't let me do janitorial at MIT. I was University
I
of Vermont.
suppose, but you've got quite a little thing, which is not the same that he has.
True,
Yeah.
true, but at the time you never realize it.
I know, not at 19,
Yeah,
God.
so, so I had to do the long route, regrettably, and if I could have shortened it up, I would have.
Do you know many people that went into the Army for that type of a reason?
Well, I do because I was in the Army,
I know.
but there's a lot of people that didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually a fair number. My combat platoon actually has a reunion. And normally a reunion is like a battalion or a regiment, which is like thousands of people. But this is my combat platoon. One of the guys actually went back, looked all of us up, and bring us in. And I had him read the book twice because of what happened with John Kerry. I didn't want anyone coming up and say, no, that didn't happen. And he was never there. So I had him read the book twice before we published it.
You got out of the service and you're spending a lot of time, because you're on sort of a total Army disability because of PTSD is just kind of taking advantage of you a lot, and so consequently you're working with people who have PTSD, and you go to monthly meetings.
Absolutely. We have a veterans group for the Vet Center, and by the way, very important asset for all you veterans out there.
Yeah.
The Vet Center can help you. It can really bridge the gap. So you've got to go down there and try it out. Because I still do monthly. We have a group counseling session, and my wife and I go every month, and she gets to report just how bad I've been during the month.
How bad?
Yes, how bad.
Well, the good thing is because you're so strong and you so believe that really your bad is really not that bad.
Well, she's got that baseball bat in the closet.
Well,
so
I mean, that's got to do something on it.
well, you can't go to sleep at night. It's like,
I don't know. Well, she's in your corner.
well, maybe.
What are you doing? Are you acting as like a guy? Are you helping people that have PTSD?
Absolutely.
How do they get a hold of you?
Well, the Howard L. Hibbard. The website's really simple.
Howard L.
Hibbard.com.
.com.
Because my attention span's so short, I have to use my name.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, really.
Does this stuff blow your head away? Also, because you were in the service, you came out, and then all this stuff that's been happening. Does it mess with your mind? All these things that they are doing now and not doing anything before.
Well, what messes my mind is that we're in Afghanistan and Iraq, and we shouldn't be there.
Of course not.
But I don't want to get into that. But,
I know.
I do a blog on my website. By the way, I'm also Chef PTSD. So I put a new recipe every Friday on my website.
Oh, you're a chef.
Chef PTSD.
Okay.
That's my trademark. And I also do a blog on PTSD, and usually on the Middle East, saying, get out now.
God.
Before it gets worse.
I'll tell you, I wish people would come on and talk about it right out in the open, because there's no harm saying what's on your mind. You've done it, you've God darn written a really good book. As I mentioned earlier, I didn't like violence. I didn't want nothing to do with it. I'm reading your book, and I'm thinking, oh, like shit, I want to be over there and do some really nasty things.
No, you never want to say that.
Well, of course not.
Ever.
Yeah. But that's kind of a thing you have in your writing medicinal kit, that can get people to understand and believe and go away from an area that they may believe in.
I've tried.
Pretty interesting.
I've really tried to make it humorous. It's like Catch-22.
Yeah.
Only my catch was blaming everything on the coloring book.
Yeah, man, that's the deal, and I'm hoping other people will come up, not only with that, but other ideas of what the book is all about. Howard Hibbard, you're a great kid, man, and thanks so much for taking time and coming to this little studio, because I do believe what you had to say, there's meaning to people that were there, or just new understanding of what that scene was. Thank you so much once again, man.
Well, thank you,
You're
Bruce.
a cool cat, man.
Yeah.
All right, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Oh, yeah. Boy. Pretty good stuff, I tell you. Yeah, this is, that's sweet, man. This is our Christmas television show, and we just had a wonderful interview with a fellow that was in the service, and he really did his service. Thank you for doing your work, man, your service. Thank you for serving your country. What an interesting statement. All right, we're going to go back to the folks that just kind of really got us right off the track and on to the place where we're kind of slowly flying high on this Merrie Olde Christmas caroler performances. They're back an hour a stage. Would you put your hands together for them now, if you can? Put your hands together for Merrie Olde Christmas carolers. You're too late.
We're in for a real treat here. This is a Merry Christmas Carolers original, words and music by Ken, and he's going to sing with us.
I thought I would.
All over town, around and around, you'll hear the same sounds. I know. You'll hear the sounds of Christmas wherever you chance to go. And in the air, now what can compare to something as fair as snow? I know. It's just a part of Christmas, and oh, how we love it so. The carolers are singing, come on, let's deck the halls. You hear the sleigh bells ringing, and bringing cheer to all. The scent of pine, the holiday vine, they're yours and they're mine, you know. They're all the songs of Christmas, and oh, how they make us glow. They're all a part of Christmas, and oh, how we love it so.
And for our last piece, we're going to do Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be miles away, miles away. As in olden days,
Wonderful, wonderful. Somebody put Howard up on that stage too, and we'll do that. What a nice a nice show this evening. Yeah, this is sort of our Christmas show in a very nice, gentle way. You know, I just did what we did with wonderful Christmas music, talking with Ken Malucelli, and speaking with Howard Hibbard. Is Howard out there? No. Oh, he's probably signing autographs out there, or maybe taking a pin out of a, what's going on? Nice kid. Thank you so much. So, by the way, thanks for Pauline for making a great guacamole this evening. Wow, was that good? Yeah. And a special thanks go out to Rosalinda, who's in the hospital. She'll be there a while. Ken Malucelli, thank you, man. Thanks for all your experience and what you've done for all the people you know. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. You know, when we do this kind of a show, I'm 22 shows now from doing 1,000. I'm going to try to do 1,000. And we've had over 5,000 guests be on the show. And we'll see where that goes. I'm hoping to do it if I'm given more time and all that sort of thing. So anyway, we're going to go out with a little bit of, Mike Foley. This cat's something else. He's like a lot of us, you know, he's been going up and down. And when he was 7 years old, you know, his father taught him how to shave, and he shaved backwards, and so now the back of his hair is that's how he shaves on it. He's got a big thing in the back anyway. Mike is a cool cat. He comes down there pretty darn well. You know this song? You can hear it, right? Them That Got. So if you got something, you know, do what you can, share it around, and it was the best part of the season that can be said and can be done. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you all next time. All right? Yeah, Merry Christmas.
All I do is stay in bed, because them that got's, Lord, is them that gets, and I ain't got nothing yet. Whoa, that old saying, them that's got is them that gets, so well, something I can't see. How you get something when you started out with nothing, that's a mystery.